Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your girl Matinde coming across my channel for the first time. Kindly consider subscribing, like and share. And for my returning viewers, thank you so much for always coming to watch my videos. I really appreciate your love and support, guys. So guys, today is a very special video because I'm one of the memorable and unforgettable places. So you can see my background, like you have never seen it. So this is my grandma's place actually, where I was raised. So those are my uncle's kids. So unfortunately I didn't find one of my aunt here because my grandma is late. So my uncle's wife, their first wife, lives here. So she's the one who lives here at the where my grandmother was buried. So they have closed the gate. She isn't here, but we have others. Like my uncle is a polygamous man, so he has 3 wives actually, 3 of them. You can imagine. So just look at them. They're like, yo, what's going on? Come on, hi. Hi. They're not even understanding what I'm doing, but anyways, so we have to continue. So this is the place, guys. This is the place. So this is where I was raised actually, here. This is the first homestead before my grandmother transferred to there. So that is a is a permanent where she transferred from here and left this one to be his son's homestead. So she lives there. That's where even she was buried and everything. So the first wife of my uncle lives there, and the rest, 2 of them, lives here, guys. So let me give you a clear picture. This is where I was raised. This is a place called it's in Migori County, Mabera. I don't know how to call it, but it's under Iraha village. Like I call it like that, like this. So this is the place that I was raised, born. I'll take you there once that my aunt has come from church, because it's Sunday, guys. Yeah, so everything here has memorable. Like this is our neighbor. Yeah, so everything here has memories. Like the trees here, we used to climb them when I was just a kid. I was a kid, guys, because I'm the only grandchild that my grandma lived with, because my mom left me with her while I was 6 months old. Like actually I can't tell even. I don't have much stories of my mom because I never spent time with her. I never had that let's say mother love or mother, like even you can't ask me her favorite color. I can't say, because she left me like 6 months. She just continued with her life, or let me say, she just left me with my grandmother. So all along I just knew my grandmother as my mother, as my father, yeah, as my everything, you know. So this is their toilet. This is just the current toilet, though my uncle has not roofed yet. So this place has all the memories, every memory here. Look at those kids. Oh, so I think you know this one. This is Maxwell. I think I've seen him in one of my videos. Yeah, this is my aunt's child actually. The one that I lived with once in Sirari. Say hi.
Hi.
What's your name?
My name is Maxwell.
just imagine. Yeah, so he's Maxwell. Okay. Umekuja kuwasalimia. Ulikuja lini?
On 25th.
So I think he came here from Christmas till date. He has not left. So this is the first son of my uncle actually. Hi.
Hi.
What's your name?
Carlos.
So his name is Carlos. Ebu kuja na hii side uko kuna nani? So this is Carlos. This is the first child of my uncle actually. Which form are you going?
Actually in Form 4.
Form 4?
Yeah.
Wow, so this is our candidate right now. We are speaking with the candidate, okay? All of them, because all of them are going to Form 4 and they are age mate. They were born the same year. I think even the same month. 206. These are 206 babies actually. So okay, bye. I want to continue my vlog. So guys, everything here makes a memorable. Like it holds so much memories. Like a lot. So here's where we sat actually. We used to sit here. My grandmother liked to sleep here actually. This one, I think they have reduced this flower. It was so big, it provided a lot of shade, and she used to sleep here. You can find her with her lasso. She lays it down, and then she lies on it like this one here. It was like something like an umbrella. It was so big. This flower was so big like this, and then she could sleep down here. And this one, there was benches like this, the place where we could eat lunch mostly, because inside the house was so hot. This one, the only thing that I didn't leave is these bananas. This one I think they planted while I was married actually. I never left them here. Yeah guys, so this place holds a lot. Like these are guava plants. A lot of these are guava plants. These are guava plants. So this is the homestead. This is the homestead, guys. This is the homestead. This like this. So this is where I was raised. This is my place. This is where Matinde was formed and raised and everything. This is what, like, it holds a lot. This is the surrounding. Like it's village. That's our neighbor there. Like this. So you're going to go inside. So this, the gate here, it was actually like this. So let's enter. So this is a corridor. Can tell. Like this. So when you come like this, that was my grandmother's house. You know, always like you have this tradition, like the house facing the gate is the main house. So that was my grandmother's house, that one. And because he had one son, okay, so because he had one son, the son always stays at the right. So this was my uncle's house while he was a bachelor, before he was married. And so this house holds 2 rooms actually. So it's in the afternoon and the sun is so hot. But you see this house here, this was a girl's house, though I won't go inside though. So this is where we were sleeping when I was a kid. So this is the house, this one. And this one was for the let me say like a storeroom. This one was like a storeroom. And that one over there was for kids, boys' kids. There, this one was for boys' kids. Like the boys slept here. And here also was like if the guest come or anyone, they could sleep over here. So my grandmother has arranged everything here so they could sleep in this house. So it's like this, guys. So these are 2 houses, but in the middle we have the corridor here. This is our corridor, and that's our gate. That's the gate actually. Only the motorbike can enter. The car will park outside. Look at these kids. All of these are my uncle's kids. Jesus Christ. I don't know how many kids here. By the so my uncle has a lot of kids because he has 3 wives. He's a polygamist. So when he married, so that house, initially it was my grandma's house, but because she transferred to the other homestead, so she left this. So this whole homestead like this is for my uncle's homestead. Now like this, it's my uncle's homestead. All of this is my uncle's. Like this is his homestead right now, like this. So here we used to have the kitchen, like that one of the hut, the grass thatched house here. It was here. That was our main kitchen. Growing up, that's how we used to do. So right now, because he married, so because the first wife lived at the other homestead where my grandmother was buried, so this house now belongs to the second wife, this one. And the right hand side, this one, now this one belongs to the 3rd wife actually. Yeah, because I told you he's a polygamist, so he had 3 wives. So the first wife has not come from from church. So I'm going to meet my beloved aunts. They are so young, they're not that old. So even she does. Hey, say my hi. Say my too hi. Suseme hi. Suseme too hi. Mata kambi mata kwani kukopo kombiga hi. Takoriga hi robi tukumuhora. Akoriga hi. No kutato kore bagano namoko. Aida Shida. So that's my aunt, the second wife, and this one's the third wife. You see? Yeah. So we are done that, and we usually use this one. This is what we use, guys. These are 3 stones. I like this one because it's so, you see the place where they are cooking so free, like the air can pass from anywhere, so it's not that smoky here. Yeah, because that's what also she's using. So they're so shy, guys. So I think we're cooking tea and rice because that's how they do rice here. So we are done. These are firewood. They usually take dry firewood. Wait, I don't know. Dry, am I? So this is what we use. This is the place where we used to keep maize, like it storage. Yeah, we used to call it ritara. That's how we call it, by the way. Not we used to call it. We call it ritara. This is the place where we used to. So when we harvest maize, it will first of all dry. After drying, you put in the sun, it dry, and then you place it here. You see how it is? Like this. But nowadays they don't do that because they are modernized. At least they use sacks. So here is where we used to put. Like there were kind of timbers down here, and then you put maize. So when you want to grind maize, I don't know, you come inside here and remove them. Like it was two place storage. So like this, yeah. So this was a storage area. So this is almost the last born of my uncle. Yep. So guys, let me show you something. Actually, there's one thing that I haven't shown you, and it's really that close to my heart. Like, it's one of the things that is very dear to me. Yeah, so it's so dear to me. So guys, like my mom, so guys, like me, my mom was buried at her mom's place. Like, this is the grave of my mom, actually, guys. This is the grave of my mom. This one here. She died 2006. I remember that because that's the year that my uncle's wife was pregnant, and she gave birth to that month. The same month, 2006. That's why I'm able to recall, because I was so little. I was, I think, grade 1 by then. I was so small. I was, I think, 8 years old. Yeah, something. I was 8, 7. I don't know. But those are the year. Like, so this is, so we planted. Actually, my grandmother planted this tree so that it can be reminding us that this is the place where we buried. So whenever I see that tree, I know that this is the place where my mom sleeps. This is where she is. So this is her grave, like this. I know you can't see it. That one, like this. The way this guava tree, this one, and that, like this. So this is where my mom is resting. Actually, it has been, so yeah, it's been 18 years right now, because she died on 2006. That's when she died, and I was like 8 years old. Yeah, because I'm heading 27. Yeah. Imagine, guys. So each time we could be playing, I could come and sit here and ask my grandmother that, why did you put mom here? And she was like, let her rest. She just wanted to rest. She didn't want to be disturbed. And I could tell her. I remember one day telling her, can't you tell her to wake up and at least play with me? Because I've never played with her. Like, we have that chit chat like a mother and a child. And I clearly remember one day my grandmother cried while I told her like that, because it pained. I never knew like what it feels, because actually my mom died, but I never had that. It never pained me so much because I had used to my grandmother, like me, my grandmother. So to me, like like to me to me has been it has been like, I don't know, but it never pained me that much for losing my mom back then. But whenever I grew up, that's why I knew that, oh, so I had a mom. But what I remember is my grandma had never, like, she had never let me, while she was alive, I never felt that that void of losing a mom until I lost her. When I lost her, actually, that's where I knew that she held so much to me and she meant a lot to me, because I like someone to just share my sorrows, someone tell me it's all right, because my grandma understood me like no one else, and she loved me like my grandma loved me so much. Actually, I can't lie, that was a clear from everybody. Not that I was the first grandchild of hers, but I don't know, but she loved me, and I'm also named after her. The name Matinde actually is my grandmother's name. Yeah, so I was named after her, and I was raised with her, knew her. You know, being raised by a grandmother, I just, like, I was calling her mom until I was, I don't know, 5 years old. That's when I realized that she's my grandmother. But sometimes I could call her mom, sometimes grandmother, but she never cared less, because she raised me and she fought so much hard. She educated me. She like, she provided everything. She fought. She was a very strong woman. But now growing up and knowing that your mom died, and actually it's just a twisted story that I never wanted to share, because it's so painful and it's get me emotional so much, and I never wanted to share. But at least sharing is just half of it. Yeah, I hope someone outside there has a similar story, because my story is kind of twisted. But when someone sees you, you know, you can't judge someone before you listen or before you know them, because I've gone through a lot. But sometimes I hide it to smile, sometimes I just say that's how life is, it will get better or what. But it getting an extent that you feel like you really have to question God, you really have to tell God why, you really have to ask, like, why me, why me? But anyways, we have to say thank you, God, for every second of our life. Because me growing up without knowing, like, without that motherly love, without her in your life, you know, she she usually, like, she used to come once in maybe a year, you know. Like, I used to call her by her name. Yeah, she used to call Bena. uh I named her, my first kid is named after her. Like, I named her Bena, my kid, like Princess. She's called Princess Benedict. So my mom was called Benedict. So you see that Twitter story. I'm Matinde. In real life, I was her mother. Like, my grandmother was Matinde. She gave birth to Benedict. And then me, Benedict gave birth to me, and I've given birth to Benedict. Some things just recur. Like, yeah, that's how it is. But my mom, oh my goodness, I just see her on the pictures, being told like she was the best saloonist. She used to know how to braid. I think that's where my sister got her talent from, because she just went to practice for just few months, like 2 3, and she's perfect. She's so perfect in braiding hairs, like in plaiting people. Like, she's good at it. Like, it's not that hard for her to learn new style or new things. So I think she got that from her. But what they say is that I look so much like her. It's like I'm her twin, but I don't see it that much because whenever she comes, we just talk for a few hours and then I'm off. Whenever she used to come and then I'm off. Like, I just used to know my grandmother. The worst part is that me, when she gave birth to me, she left me with my grandmother and then she went ahead with her life. Uh, she got married and she bore my two siblings, like my brother. I have a brother who's the one, he's my younger brother actually, and then my sister. So we were left three of us. But I knew my sister, my brother and sister, the day my mother died. That's when I knew them actually. So I grew up without them in my life, and I just knew them after, because he was living with his husband somewhere, retain, I don't know where retain is, I don't know, Kericho or somewhere. Yeah, so she was living there with his husband and their two kids, married. So sometimes I'm just like, oh, I wish I could experience the love of my father. Like, I've never set my eyes on my father. I don't know even how he's looking like, and it hurts a lot because whenever when I used to ask my grandmother that who's my father, what she used to tell me is that I'm your father and I'm your mother. Just know that, okay? Stop asking those questions. And it really pained me when growing up, knowing that your father is somewhere there and he has never even uh, looked for you. So I don't know if my mom told her she was pregnant for me or she did it. I don't know. So I couldn't question much, but at least I have a right to know. They could have just told me that who is he. It could be just it could be my decision to say if I'm going back there or not. But if I want to see him, because I don't think I could have left my grandmother to go back to someone that wasn't there. I couldn't do that because I loved my grandma with all of me actually. I still do love and miss her a lot, so much. She fought for me so much. She sacrificed a lot for me. Like, even people could come. I remember people were calling me her last born because she loved me, and you couldn't differentiate between me and her last born, which is my aunt now, Anita. Like, my aunt is 2 years apart from me, so we used to play together, and they used to tell that I'm the last born of my grandmother, never not knowing that I'm just her grandchild. Maraba, yeah. So that story really pains me. Like, I don't know even, but I don't think even if I want to know, like, even if someday, one day I'll find out, or one day one of my aunts will decide to tell me, because my mom is the second born in their family. My grandmother bought 12 kids. 4 kids are late by now, and just 8 kids who are alive. And among the 8 kids, we have 7 girls and 1 male. My uncle is the only male child that my mother bore actually. Yeah, so he's the only one. So he has 8 sisters alive. Like, he had 7 sisters alive, and him the only one. So my mom was the second born one, but she was the first one to, like, to get married or what, I don't know, but she was the first one to, but like, I'm the first grandchild, so I can't explain how it happened, because there was an eldest daughter. Every child has their own, yeah, let me say like that. So it pained me a lot. Like, sometimes I do say, oh, sometimes when now my mom died, actually she was living with that his husband, where they were. So we had a report. By then, like, I never cared more. I just saw her like my sister. Like, whenever someone could tell, oh, your mom called, say, Bena. I used to say, oh, Bena. Oh, that's good. So when the report came that, oh, Bena is dead, I was like, God, how? So she died in, I don't know, I can't explain because she didn't die here. She died there at Kericho. So the man hadn't paid dowry yet. The man who had married her hadn't paid dowry yet. So when my mom died, my grandma was so sad and she was so heartbroken. Shikawang. Look at my uncle. Uncle Siseme, hi. Hey.
Hi.
That's my uncle, guys. Just look at him. You see how we look alike?
Hello. Hi.
This is my uncle, the only one.
TikTok.
So yeah, he wasn't here. He just came, and I'm so super happy to see him here. So that's the only uncle actually. I look at like my grand, my grand, my grandmother's children. That's why they could say I'm the last born, but I've never been the last born. So when the report came, it was like Bena is dead. He never knew what killed her because the man or my mom never called like she's sick or what. So we never, like, even up till now, I can't say what killed my mom actually. Like, I'm clueless because I was just 8 years old. I never lived with her, just knew that she's married to someone that I just met once because that man, I don't know, came once or twice, I don't know, but mostly I was in school when he came to see my grandmother, when they usually come. So I never knew actually what killed my mom. So when the report came, my grandmother refused that she will not be buried there because she doesn't know what killed her daughter. So the man was ready to pay the bride price and bury my mom, but my grandmother refused. She said she wants her daughter back. She really cried. I can remember my grandmother crying until she tied her stomach. She cried a lot. I cried. I just, because I loved my grandmother. By the way, by then I wasn't crying because my mom died. I was crying because I could see my grandmother crying. Can you imagine that? Because my grandmother was in a state that was so shocked, that she was so bad. She was so broken, and I cried because my grandmother was broken. I never cried because my mom was died. That was for real, for sure, because no connection actually. Sorry guys, sorry guys, so sorry. So that's what happened. That's why my mom was buried at her place, her home place. So my grandmother also said that she wants the kids of her daughter, she wants her grandchildren. She doesn't want anything to do with that man. That man should just forget that he never had kids. But the man, we know the man, but my grandmother vowed that he will never had anything to do with them. He even changed the names of my siblings. He changed the names because their dad was not not from here. Yeah, so he just changed their surname and gave them a Korean name. Yeah, so I won't say which tribe was that. So that's how I knew my siblings. I knew them when my mother died, and they brought the body plus my siblings and my mother's belongings. That's when I met them. All along I never knew they were there. I was 8 years old. My brother was something like 5 years old, and my sister was so young. She was 2 years old because she just started talking. She was so young and chubby. I wish I could see that. Let me see if I could get that photo when we did the burial of my mom. She was so young, 2 going to 3 years, I think. Yeah, because she hadn't started school. She was so young, by the way, so young and chubby. She was so chubby. Like, I remember seeing them and saying, "So this is my brother and this is my sister." Like, yeah. And I loved them since then till now. And my grandmother said that these are your siblings. You should love them, care for them, and always make sure that they're okay. And I told her, like, I'll try. Then when she raised us now, both us, the three of us, I realized that I'll be like their mother to them, because they never get used to my grandmother. So I was 8 years old. I or usually tell them like, and they used to speak that language of their father. So we used to speak Swahili just a little. But my grandmother is wise. She used to know like 6 languages, so she knew that language. And she usually told them, "Don't speak this language here. We speak Swahili and Korea." By the time they got used to it, and that's all. So my grandmother to me is my everything, and losing her has been the worst thing that has ever happened to my life. Also my mother, I thank her for bringing me into life because she's the best. I can't judge her why she left me with my grandmother, but I just say thank you, mom, because you trusted and believed in your mom, which is my grandmother, and she take good really care of me. But it breaks my heart to say that I'm on this journey, and I promise to work hard, and I promise that I will change everything, and I promise that they'll have the best life. Even if I failed in what I believed so much, I just hope that I'll not fail in what I'm about to partake. To me, I never wanted. God knows I've tried. I've tried my best. But it's just not working. I'll face the most difficult one. I feared. I never wanted my kids to experience the love of not having both parents, but it's getting out of hand, and I have to do it. Because if I can't do it for them, then it means I'll fall into depression again, what I don't want ever in my life to do. I hate depression. Yes, it's too much for me, but I don't want to go through it. I just keep myself healthy and good looking, because I don't want to fall from it. I don't want anything to do with depression ever again in my life, because it almost took me. Mama, I gave marriage second chance, but became worse. Granny, I tried. I promised it will work, but it has failed. I'm sorry. They always tell you to just push, continue pushing, continue pushing. I can't push it anymore. I can't. It's draining me. Sometimes I can't do video because I had a lot of stuff, but I keep it to myself. I promise I'll not say, I promise I'll be good, but it's getting out of hand, guys. So I'm out actually, just out with my kids and everything. I'll sort it out. It was so sad. I have to tell my mom and granny that I failed in what I wanted the most. I'm a failure to them. It just didn't work out, so I just move on. I'll try my best. Just try my best and move on, guys. Yeah. So this is my uncle's wife's kitchen garden. Yeah, like this. That's their maze, everything. Yeah. So thank you so much for watching, guys.